So today I'm going to be learning or teaching you guys what symbolic notation is, specifically for conditional statements. Now, if you don't understand conditional statements, I do have some other videos to teach what they are. Essentially, they're if-then statements. Now, instead of writing out the whole sentence, if this and then that, we could use symbols. And I have three symbols here. The first one is a simple arrow, and it essentially just indicates that you're connecting the hypothesis and conclusion. And remember, conditional statements, the first part, the if part, is the hypothesis, and then part is the conclusion. So that symbol, that arrow, just sits in between. And then we have what is actually called the tilde symbol right here. So this symbol indicates negation in conditional statements. So it says not. So if you're writing a conditional statement, if something is not, you would use this symbol. And then biconditional statements. I don't think we've actually gotten to that yet, but they're conditional statements that use the specific word if and only if. So let me give you some examples to make it a bit clear. So let's start with, for instance, let's say P stands for the hypothesis, and then we have an arrow, and then Q stands for the conclusion. So we could write, say, for instance, if a triangle is equilateral, then all sides are equal. So essentially the P, which is the symbol, in this case stands for if a triangle is equilateral. And then we have the arrow, which connects it to the conclusion, which in this case, this actually should be then. If a triangle is equilateral, then all sides are equal. Then is the conclusion, then all sides are equal, would stand for Q. So that's a short form that we have here, P to Q. Now we can use the same example here to show negation. So let me find a good example for you guys. So for instance, if an angle is not a right angle, then the angle, sorry, I apologize, then the measure is not 90 degrees. So to show this, essentially you would write it like this. So let me move this down. Okay. So we have the tilde symbol, P. Now we don't have to call it P, we can use another symbol. Let's say we use T. T, and then we have the arrow, and then we have the negation symbol again, and let's call this W. So in this case, the first symbol T has the negation symbol behind. If an angle is not a right angle, then we got the arrow that connects it to the conclusion. Then the measure is not 90 degrees. Now the last example is to show you that arrow of a biconditional statement. So with a biconditional statement, essentially, let's say we use another letter here and then use J for this conclusion. So you could make up anything, any sentence, but in this case, in the middle you're gonna have if and only if. So I'm just gonna put if. So in the middle here, we're going to have if and only if. So we could say, an angle is a right angle if and only if it measures is 90 degrees. So essentially that middle part is the if and only if. So we have an angle is a right angle if and only if its measure is 90 degrees. So those are some of the symbols that we can use for conditional statements. So if this was helpful to you, please subscribe and like the video and leave any comments if you feel like I missed something out.